And we're live.
So
That's where
I don't think we ever explained to our broader audience here. See, we forget that not everyone is privy to PKN. They're not all patrons because they haven't went down below and signed up, so they get the show, the video from Patreon and from PKN and all that stuff. So they don't know why me and Taylor are in new places. Me and Taylor are on a little vacation together out here in Colorado. We went with Kitty. It's her birthday week, and or maybe last day was her birthday week, and she wasn't able to celebrate it because of something conflicting. But this is when we're celebrating it. So we're here in Denver, having a interesting time. It's
been a lot of fun.
It's been a lot of fun, yeah.
It's been great. The first thing I noticed
I didn't think it would
when I got picked up at the airport, and it's really obnoxious and it sounds piddling, is when you have almost all of your conversations with someone over digital mediums, their voice isn't exactly the same. To the point that when Kyle, because I've only ever talked to Chiz over headsets, and he sounded pretty much exactly the same. But there was something about Kyle's voice for like the first half hour where I was like almost expecting it to be like you turn around and I notice you're not blinking, and then I look over and I'm like, this Chiz isn't blinking either. Chiz isn't even moving. He's a doll. Who is this man that's picked me up from the airport? But no, I don't know. It's just weird little things like that you notice.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
it's been a real fun time. It's a nice little place. Sorry, I stepped on you. It's been a nice place here. I like the house we got. Went to the hockey game. We briefly touched on that during PKN. Kyle loved it. I watched him sign up for a men's league back in Georgia. He's doing it. He told me it's time for me to conquer this bitchy little ankle problem and just get it into line.
I'm getting a surgery, actually. Yep. I have to get a surgery for my ankles to buff them up so that I can play. But yeah, we're going full force, joining the men's league. It's going to be a lot of fun. But actually, though, we did go to a hockey game, and I don't know. We were buying these tickets online, and I don't know. We were all trying to decide like how much money do we want to spend on these tickets, I guess. And someone said I'd spend $150 a ticket, and then I was like, oh, but look, for $30 more, this other ticket is just excellent. It's so much better. And then someone goes, this $250. No, someone goes, this $300 ticket includes all the free beer and food a man can imbibe during a hockey game. And I was like, well, shit. How close are we?
You don't want to lose money on this deal.
And it's like, I was like, well, where are we sitting? Are these like food tickets, but we got to get them in some box? Because I don't feel like that's a legit experience. I guess that's the really fancy thing to do would be to get in a box, but yeah. I want to be close to the ice. That's the experience I wanted. And it's like, oh, yeah, you're sitting right behind the fucking Colorado Avalanche's bench. And I mean right behind it.
Could you smell them?
I could not
I'm sure you could if you tried. Yeah.
Because they didn't smell. I could smell them. No. But I could have like reached over and like poked the coach in the head if I'd wanted to. So we were in the second row that was available to even sit in, and there was only one seat in front of us, and no one occupied that row. So amazing seats and a pretty good hockey game. The Colorado Avalanche, from what I understand, is like the shittiest fucking team in the NHL, and yet with our presence in the building,
they were the best.
They found a new record win streak at 2, and I heard that
they've
either
since
tonight,
won a third,
3 in a row. That's their longest win streak of the year.
A lasting impact. I wish you'd go to a Flyers game.
And we need to talk about the Pepsi Center help
fiasco
there. So basically the way the tickets that we picked out, I had sat in seats just like that at Scott Trade Center, the arena in St. Louis. And the way it works there is you're not right down next to the ice. You're the section right above, but they deliver stuff to you and like booze and food. And you just say, I want fries and a swirly and whatever, and they'll bring it to you. Swirly, that's in the toilet. That's not a tasty beverage. Whatever you get.
Sounds good.
And it was like that. And so I anticipated it being kind of like that. And so I get there, we all are walking in with the tickets, and I'm like, okay, well, I don't see where we should go, so I'm going to go talk to this gentleman. And so I found an old-looking guy who seems like he knew his way around the Pepsi Center, and I asked him, like, do you know where we're supposed to go to get our food and drinks? I know where we can find our seats. And he was like, he had a thick accent. It was like, you wait right here. I find you speak to him right over there, and then we go to. And immediately, I look over at Kyle, and Kyle goes, and we just turn away, like very politely though, like, thank you very much, thank you. Yep, gotcha, for sure, definitely enjoy that game. from here though. All right, see ya. And then I found someone else, another old guy, and I thought like, this guy's old. He's worked here for a long time. Walked up to him, even less helpful than the foreign gentleman. He knew nothing. I said,
he literally
where do we
said
go for our drinks and food.
Oh, he acted like he knew. He was like, oh, just go around that corner there, and there's a big vestibule, and you go under there, and there's a fella, and you talk to him, and that'll get your problem solved. And I was like, so you have no fucking clue. You're passing us off to a further person. You don't know how our tickets work.
He had no idea. And he told us, go over here and go up the escalator. And it turns out if we had gone over there and gone down the escalator, we would have immediately found where we were supposed to be. We went up the escalator to a different club section, and I basically
a much better club section.
It was a very elite club section where it's really expensive to get in, and we didn't have tickets for that. And there were two elderly gentlemen guarding the door.
$300 does not get you one of these tickets.
No, not into these. And I walked in there, and with such frustration and I guess some kind of aggravated confidence that I was like, I got these tickets. I spoke to two gentlemen downstairs and they instructed me to come up here. So we're going to go in there, and they like checked the tickets, and clearly like it wasn't the right kind of ticket, but I just walked in, and Kyle walked in, and Chiz walked in, and I had to go back and grab Katie from the fucking ticket guys because they weren't having that. They got their confidence back and were like,
oh yeah, she's in too. She's in too.
Yeah. And then we got him through, and I walk up to the guy who's in the counter way past it so I can talk to this concierge, the club concierge guy. If he doesn't know, we've gone to the top and there's no one else to speak to. And so I give this guy the tickets, and I was like, I explained the situation. I bought these online. I get free booze and food. Tell me where to go and get my free booze and food. And he was like, bought these online, did you? Yeah, I don't know how to say it, but there's one of them born every minute, and you probably got scammed here. And I was in my head about to make a scene until I had the image of this is the first day of the trip, and I'm like, they're all gonna judge you so hard if you lose it on an old.
I wanted you to come unglued. I was like,
no, I'm not gonna do that.
Let the hate flow through you.
This is where you guys need me. I will put the help in line.
See, that guy needed to be put in line because I was fucking furious. We went back down there.
What did he say about his grandma? No, he said he had two comments. He said something about his grandma's dead, so everybody's got problems, right?
No, wait, that was it. He goes, I was like, yeah, here, where's my ticket? And he's like, yeah, it sucks. You might have, there's one born every minute. You might have got scammed. Basically calling me a sucker for those of you who aren't putting the two together. And then he was like, well, my mom died, and so, that sucks too. And I wanted to be like, well, at least she has a spot in the Guinness Book of World Records because you're 82, so there's no fucking way your mom just died.
82-year-old fucking ticket taker.
If an 82-year-old person bitches to me about their parent dying, I don't give a fuck. I don't fucking care. Not even a little bit. Not even a little bit. Oh, your parents, you made it to 82 and then your dad or your mom died? You know how many people don't make it at all? Like, oh, fuck you. This has nothing to do with my tickets. By the way, we're at a hockey game. And then I was furious, feeling scammed. And so we went back down and we found someone.
No. Finish. Tell the mistake that we made in between this. Like first of all, that guy who was a smartass to Taylor, completely fucking wrong. We should have went and found him and be like, hey, you're a fucking asshole, dummy. Like see this? This is the Lexus Club. This is where we go. We should have done that, but we had too much beer in our hands to be angry. But we go down there and we were like, oh man, we got to pay for our own food and drinks. So we all pay for food and drinks. I spent $24 on 6 chicken tenders. It was, they were disgusting. And then, Taylor bought us a round of beer as some sort of apology for misreading the tickets. And we're all drinking our beers, kind of sad. And then some lady comes down.
Bought you a round of free beer though.
Well, he had to purchase it because we couldn't figure out these tickets
at this point because this is immediately after asshole concierge.
4 people have shut us down at this point.
I thought you went from asshole concierge to proper place. There was
no. 4 people have shut us down with these tickets at this point. So we just buy booze, we buy food, we get in our seats, and Taylor and Chiz go to get more beer, another round for each of them. And some lady comes down and she says, hi, have you been to the Lexus Club yet? And I'm like, I don't know. And she's like, if you had been, you would know. She's like, here, take this cart, and it's instructions, like literal, like walking instructions, and on how to get to the place and the rules and regulations for it. So they come back with like God knows what they spent on 2 beers each, like another $30.
$30, yeah.
Yes, 24 ounces, and $30 later they show up, and I'm like, hey, look, we get free everything. We just got to go to this other place, and so we found the place, and the rule, yeah, you pick up there.
Yeah, so basically, that's when I started. Like, I felt so fucking bad about it, like up until we found out that we were correct the whole time. And when he finally was like, you go here, like I had a serious like quandary being like, all right, well, I want to go back up and have another conversation with the concierge man up there, show him my Lexus Club thing and be like, you were an asshole. Can I talk to your superior? You weren't helpful to a high paying
Do
customer.
you like apples? How you like these apples?
Yeah, how you like them apples? You fuck. You know, you'll be joining your mother soon, you old codger.
Oh,
But
okay, carry on.
I wouldn't say that, probably, but I didn't go up upstairs because I didn't have tickets there, and it was amazing that I barged in the first time, so I couldn't get back. But it just felt so good to be vindicated there, to go into the Lexus Club and be like, yes, I wasn't rused out of it. There was no ruseman on the other side of my ticket buying, cackling away, thinking, there's no Lexus Club at the Toyota Center, oh, or whatever fucking
Pepsi.
thing. But Pepsi Center, yeah, it was overall, it was got much better after that. The Abs ended up winning, which was nice. We got to see a couple of huge hits, which was great. Some really aggressive play. Nobody got hit by the puck, which was a very big
we were
concern.
fucking vigilant. Like he mentioned it, and I recalled, like, oh yeah, you have to be wary of the puck. And sure enough, about like 30 seconds later, maybe 2 minutes later, whatever, a puck into the fucking crowd and like hits somebody in the second row. And I'm like, shit, we're in like the fourth row, you know, if there were rows in front of us instead of players. Like god damn, we really got to be vigilant here. 3 pucks went in the crowd in that game. And I don't think anyone got injured, but it would really suck to eat that fucking puck in the teeth or something. That would ruin your day.
That would be worse than never even finding out about the Lexus Club. Actually, you know what? I'd rather one of you get hit than me not find out about the Lexus Club. And you know, I need that validation. I would have felt like such an asshole if it was just useless tickets that some guy charged 5 times.
I honestly didn't think it was that big of a deal that there was no free beer and food. Like when you felt so bad. You were like, I think you felt like we thought that you were stupid. Like you should have been able to look closer somewhere and see through this. But you also just felt really bummed out that we'd all spent so much money on the tickets, and we didn't get what we wanted.
Like, God damn, they spent way too much money on this.
And I didn't care. I honestly didn't care. I was like, just the seat alone is worth the price, because they really were so excellent that like you could see the spray of ice, you know, coming off. You know, every now and then they would pass the puck and it would be midair right next to us, fluttering, and we'd see it go. You know, we were excellent seats. Like you said, you've never had seats that good, right?
I've never sat that close to the bench before, like to the players' bench. Or like, I don't even think that close to the ice, because it was literally 2 rows. Well, what do you know how it is? Like those first 2 rows right up next to the ice aren't always that great, but the 2 that are right by the bench are elevated a little bit, so you get better vision down. But yeah, those were great seats. I've never had seats.
Yeah, so I went to a Stanley Cup game actually, and it was the Canes against the Red Wings.
Awesome.
I sat behind. There was the Red Wings people, and then me, and it was a long game. Maybe like double overtime or triple overtime. And as it went on, it was like, God, like the Red Wings really stink. Now they're not bad at hockey. They just smelled bad. Like all their equipment smelled bad. It's like, don't they have equipment managers to like handle this? And their BO was wafting throughout like the crowd and everything. And that's why I asked, because it really made an impression on me just how bad an NHL team smells a few overtimes in.
That's exactly what you said. It's 2 rows behind. And something else that's a little annoying is seeing all the athletes right there, all the players, is you can't hide behind the feeling anymore. Like if you're up in the stands a bit, you can be like, look at, you know, Landeskog right there carrying the puck. He's what a man, you know, what an adult guy, surely older than I.
Can I interrupt this? Because I want to sort of examine what this feeling that you have that you're about to get at comes from, because I think it's that you're getting a little bit older, getting a little bit longer in the tooth. Because I don't notice the things that you keep pointing this out, and then to me it's just like, yeah, that's how old professional athletes are. But to you it's like, shit, those professional athletes, are younger than me. As a matter of fact, that one looks like a child. He doesn't even have a man's beard.
You know what there is?
Remember in the Odyssey, like in the Odyssey, Odysseus' son was a man when he could grow a beard. Like that hockey player wouldn't even qualify to like fight to be. He couldn't even challenge for Odysseus' seat. He doesn't even have a man's beard. Like they're literally like high school kids out there with like multi-$100,000, maybe multi-million-dollar contracts, fucking skating around so goddamn fast at the highest level with like. But then I see this guy who had like a bent nose, like it like immediately crooked down, who looked like he was like 40 out there,
Jerome
and he was getting
McGinley.
a ton of minutes. Like he was out there all the time, and I noticed when he would come back, he would never be out of breath. It was crazy. He was never out of breath. He never came back like.
Taylor,
a lot of the guys would come back so winded.
Is it your recognition that you're not going to be a pro athlete? Like, is that part of it? Because I remember that stage in my life.
I never thought I'd be in my heart of hearts, I never thought I'd be a professional athlete, really.
Right.
And so I don't think it's that. It's more just realizing, like, holy shit, like these people have done a lot with their lives by the time they're 22 or whatever. It's like that guy is 23 years old, a few years younger than me, and he's played 350 games in the NHL. And it's like, God damn it. I'm not even going to play one game in the NHL.
I had a different, so when I talk about swimming a lot. It was a big part of my young life, but I didn't actually do it that long. I started swimming my senior year in high school. And in the first day of practice, they put me in what they called the squid lane. It was with all the people, they really sucked, right? Like fat kids who had never swam before. Like I didn't know anything. I'm at swim practice. My shorts have pockets in them and shit. Like I had no idea like anything. And I don't know, maybe 6 weeks later, I'm the fastest guy on the team. And by the end of the season in high school, I had 2 school records, right? So like I took to it really, really quickly. And then by the end of my freshman college year, I had a school record in college too. And like I used to daydream about being an Olympic swimmer. It was probably towards the end of my freshman year that I realized, like, you know what? Like you're doing well, but you're not tracking toward Olympian, there is a huge gap between what I had accomplished and what Olympians accomplish by the time they're 19, 20. And it was like, well, this kind of sucks. I'm just not hitting that goal. And I thought maybe Taylor was going through the same thing. Like, oh, I'm 25 and score's kind of posted. Never going there.
Yeah, it's a little of that. And then it's more just that it's hammered home how young they are. Because if it's a whole team of young guys, it's kind of like, all right, I'd probably look about their age. Like maybe. And in some cases even younger, because some of those guys, like I'll look at their ESPN picture and it'll be a guy with like a big scar on his face and like a full beard, and it'll say crooked nose. Igor Vasilevsky from Moscow, Russia. I'm like, man, this guy, he looks like a tough motherfucker. And I'll check and it'll be like born December 5th, 1999. Like, no, that can't be true. Like, no, I am a 90s kid. Or whatever he would say. But yeah, it was more seeing Jerome McGinley out there, who's almost 40 years old, the guy Kyle was referring to, next to the young guys. Because it's like, that's Jerome McGinley. He's a guy that I knew growing up watching the league, and I always thought about him. And now it's like, that guy's like fucking old as shit. Like he's a guy I just would see at the bank. Or if I went to the dentist, I'd like look down and be like, oh, I hope I don't have to wait behind that guy. Like I wouldn't even look like an athlete anymore.
I like old hockey players. They're like the thing about old hockey players is they use their energy at the right moments in the game to still be effective. Like I watched Brett Hull towards the end of his career. He played for St. Louis for a long time.
Oh yeah.
And at the end of his career as a Red Wing, like he was still scoring a ton. He was a really effective player. He was obviously hitting the Hall of Fame, but he wasn't buzzing up and down the ice with every gosh darn play. He was like, you know what? This is a situation where the winger doesn't really have to get there right now. I'll be right there. I'm saving my energy for the third period. And they were just smart that way. Chris Chelios, he played till what, 47 years old? Does that sound right to you?
Not 40, or actually, yeah, it might have been 47. Because he played till he was retardedly old.
Yeah.
And hockey time is over.
Still very effective.
That's a full... way too fucking long.
All right. I'll take it. Anyway, I think it's neat to watch the older players play smarter.
So